intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your attorney general told you this was a hoax? What evidence?
Why is it a hoax? How are we at hoax? What has the timeline been for this? Going back, does anyone remember Phase 1, the Phase 1 binders? If you don't know what that is, this was a time when Trump thought this was worth investigating. And he thought it was worth having people come to the White House, I think, a bunch of people, and it was put on this big show of how I've accumulated all these files, all this information. It's new information. Everyone thought they were getting new information. It would not have even made sense to say, hey, everyone, come on down to the White House, and I'm going to give you binders full of released documents from 10 years ago that I've redacted further and censored further. It was less information than what we got 10 years ago in those binders. Phase 1, I mean, to me, Phase 1 kind of seems to indicate a Phase 2. I don't think anyone's ever done anything with a Phase 1 and it wasn't immediately succeeded by a Phase 2, unless Phase 1 failed, or unless it was a big show. So we go from Phase 1, and then before we know it, we're being told, and then it gets released that the binders was like just released information. It was a big letdown, but there's still all the cope of, oh, well, this is just the first step. It is just Phase 1. Who knows what's going to happen? And then we get to not that long ago when there's thousands of files on a desk, thousands of files sitting on a desk, thousands of videos, ostensibly thousands of victims and perpetrators. And then all of a sudden there's no files. What happened to the thousands of files? What happened to everything we were already told? Now there's no files. Everyone's scrambling to make sense of these two impossible pieces of information that can't go together. They're trying to make these puzzle pieces fit, and Trump is just trucking his way through it with not a care in the world. And if it couldn't get any worse, now there are files again. The files are back, but they were a hoax, and they were written by Obama. This is beyond QAnon. This is beyond flat Earth. This is a wild ride everyone's being taken on. And you could only do it if you're the president of the U.S. Only the president of the U.S. could possibly pull anything like this off, because only they have the power to keep enough powerful people in line